Howdy, gang. You know, when I started my career, I spent all my time creating, as you would expect from a young artist. That's what they want to do. I woke up and had my coffee, and I remember every day going into my studio, which was just a back bedroom at the time, and writing and producing and recording and making records and planning tours all day, every day, 7 days a week. That's what I did. And that's what a lot of my friends did because we had nothing else to distract us. The internet was like a sliver on the horizon. I remember when it first started, you know, we all dabbled in it, but it wasn't really that helpful. Of course, today, we're spending all of our time on the internet and social media. So how can this be useful to you? Well, my suggestion would be, if you're an older artist, meaning you're not just starting your career, I would embrace social media more and more and more. I'm finding that I'm spending most of my day, at least 50%, let's put it that way, on social media. Now, that includes answering people on social media because it's no use having fans or people who care about you if you're not responding to them regularly, which I do religiously, and creating content. Now, that seems laborious and for some of us, maybe a pain in the butt. However, if you're an older artist, I would say embrace the living crap out of it, and here's why. Because like for me, for instance, and I'll just speak from my experience, I've got a ton of records that are already in the can because I still work around the clock creating. Social media does take a chunk out of my time, but a lot of this stuff's been created over several years. So I have, like, I think a year ago, I had 7 albums in the can. Now 3 of them have come out this year, but I still have 4 records that are waiting to be released. I'm in no rush to release them. I think they're right. I think they're perfect. I wouldn't change them. The reason they're not being released is because there's a time and a place for everything. That's one of the biggest lessons I had to learn as an artist growing up. So I'm cool waiting. In the meantime, I'm spending 50% of my day on social media, and I'm connecting with people and reaching out to people that I never would have been able to reach in the old days. It would have just been hard sweat and toil getting out there, playing on the road. Not the easiest or most efficient way to do it, but this is. So don't be afraid of spending more time. I know it's counterintuitive if you're a creative person. You're like, no, I should be creating, and I agree. But that's where you have to use time management and spend your time wisely and put the time aside for creation, stick to it, don't waver from it, but then put a good amount of time for social media creation and follow-up. I'm not saying you have to do 50% like I do. You know, I'm at the end of my career, so I'm happy. I've got those 4 albums in the can. I could maybe see doing a few more over the next 10 to 20 years if I live that long. But I'm happy to just spend my time sharing with you all and trying to teach you some of the things I've learned so you can avoid some of the pitfalls. But I would say for you, 30% a day, that might sound a lot. But that's what I would recommend to start with and see how that works. Think about what you're going to say. Think about how you want to project yourself and your music. Think about how you want to connect to people, how you want them to see you, how you want them to get to know who you are. Because when they get to know who you are, they'll understand your music, your art much better. So don't be afraid of it. I know it seems like it's laborious, and it is, but just embrace it. Put some real effort into it, some thought behind it, and follow up with people constantly and reach out to other people. You know, they say, I don't know if this is true, but they say one of the best ways to connect with people on social media is to find things you like and comment on it and reach out to those people. And over time, get to know them and their audience gets to know you, and you build your audience. So just don't mock it, give it a try. I know it's a lot to put out there, but you might be surprised that you may enjoy it if you limit it to a specific amount of time and effort that you have to do, especially if you're an older artist. If you're a younger artist, you probably know all this stuff. All right? All right, cool. Go get them.